Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 12 o'clock and it's time for another video. It's 12 o'clock on a Sunday, right? Now this is where the Q&A should be. No Q&A this week because I'm busy drinking eggnog, eating mince pies and watching really crappy Christmas films. No Q&A this week. Instead of the Q&A, we have a video ranking all of my tricks that have been bought out this year in 2023. You asked for it, you've got it. All of my tricks that I got bought out through 2023, I'm ranking them from best to worst. That's going to be right now. And then at 9 o'clock, there's another video. We're going to be looking at, I think it's the worst tricks of 2023. So we've got a bunch of stuff happening on Magic TV this week. No Q&A. The Q&A will be back next Sunday. So if you've got a question, leave it in the comments of this video. Whatever the question is, I'll answer it. Nothing's off the table. Any questions you've got, leave them in the comments of this video. I'll get to them to next. I'll get them to next week. I promise. I hope you're having an amazing Christmas. I hope you have a fantastic New Year, and please enjoy me squirm as I try to rank my 2023 Magic releases. Thanks very much. I'll see you soon. Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock. It's time for another video. And this is probably the hardest video that I've ever made. I've literally sat here for a couple of hours trying to figure out what I'm actually doing with this video. And it's come from a lot of requests. I've had a bunch of people leave comments on various different social media platforms to do with me, asking me to look at my 2023 releases and rank them, basically. So all of the tricks that I bought out in 2023, rank them from number 11 to number 1, because I bought out 11 physical products in 2023. Now, I am not going to be looking at tricks that I was involved in, but I didn't necessarily, they're not my tricks. I was just involved with them as a co-host or something. So I'll give you a few examples. Movie Quiz by Jamie Williams. I was on the project, I was contributing ideas, but it's not my trick. Capsize by Seth Race, same thing, not my trick. Executive Pad, not my trick. There's a bunch of them. There's probably about 8 or 9 over the course of the year that I've been involved with. I've co-hosted them or I've contributed material to that project, but it's not my trick. I'm not counting those. I'm just counting the stuff that's been bought out with my name on it, with one exception, which is Wild Cubes. Of course, even though that's Ryland's trick, we did kind of develop all the content for it together. He came up with the actual Wild Cube trick, but I came up with a lot of the bonus content on there. So I'm throwing Wild Cubes in there, but that's it. This is just a list also based on physical releases. So I'm not looking at the Vanishing Ink Masterclass that I did. I'm not looking at the Alakazam Academies that I did. I'm not looking at anything that went up on the net tricks. None of that. I'm just looking at my 2023 physical releases. And in 2023, I think I had a pretty good year. You know, those of you that have been following my journey on YouTube will know that I came back to the Magic community just before the pandemic. I dipped my toe back in because I went to the Blackpool Magic Convention for the first time in 2020. Hadn't been there in years, and I went to the Bear Pit. Had a great time. And that was all it was, as far as I was concerned. And then the whole world got locked down. And after a while, I decided to set up Magic TV. Started off with 1 video, then 2 videos a week, then 3 videos a week. Fast forward to now, we're doing a stack load of content on YouTube. And off the back of that, you know, we've got the net tricks and so on and so forth. And I think 2023 was my best year yet. 2021, when I think I started releasing tricks in 2020, but there were just a couple. Then 2021 was a good year. 2022 was a good year. Looking at this list, I think this is probably the best year yet, but it's up to you to decide. Now, I only released Magic through 3 companies this year. I've not bought anything out through myself. I don't really do that. But all of the tricks here on this list were bought out either through Murphy's Magic, Alakazam Magic or Penguin Magic. Those are the three companies that I was releasing tricks with in 2023. Three great companies to work for as far as I'm concerned. And obviously the net tricks in 2023 went from strength to strength. You know, the gold members that I had from launch are still there. They haven't gone anywhere, and I'm really glad about that because I love them. We've got a waiting list of people who want to join the Netrix and become part of the gold membership. The VMCs, the virtual magic clubs have been great. They've continued to go from strength to strength. It's one of my favorite parts of the Netrix. The master classes, we've had some great names in. David Jonathan, Nicholas Mavresis. We've had Wayne Goodman. We've had Kyle Purnell. We've had, you know, just most recently, Dave Forrest. We've had some great people in the Netrix delivering master classes, and all that content is available. When you join the Netrix, all of those masterclasses are available on launch. You don't have to buy them all individually. You join the Netrix at silver level, you've got access to every single VMC we've ever done. So the Netrix is something I'm proud of, and I continue to watch it grow, and I continue to watch it get better, which is great. But we're looking at my physical releases. You might agree with me, you might disagree with me. I want to know what you think. If you've bought one of my tricks, please let me know in the comments down below. Did I get this list right? I will say one caveat. Every single one of these routines is amazing as far as I'm concerned. Although I'm ranking them from 12 to 1 or 11 to 1, all of them are in my set all of the time. I love performing every single one of these tricks. Sometimes they go and then they come back into my set, and then they go and they come back into my set, but I love performing every single one of them. It's not like I'm saying that the one at number 11 is weak, because it's not. It's just that you know, you guys asked me to make a list, so this is the list that I've made. But I would, if I was reviewing these, I would give each and every one of them 100%, because honestly, I don't release anything to the Magic community unless it's been worked into the nth degree. So every single one of these tricks have been in my act for years, or they've been in my act for at least a couple of years, and I love performing them. But we've got to make a list. You guys have asked me to make a list. So I'm going to make a list. Here it is. Out of the 11 physical tricks that I bought out in 2023, let's see them ranked. So in 11th position, bottom of the list. In 11th position, we've got Christmas cards. Now, Christmas cards is great. I really kind of, when I looked at Christmas cards being in number 11, I was like, that's really harsh on it. And then I had to remind myself that this is kind of a list of tricks that I think are awesome. Something had to be in 11th position. It's Christmas cards purely because I haven't been doing it as long as all the other tricks. It was one that I haven't spent months working in, because we bought out Monsters, and off the back of Monsters, it was such a phenomenal, successfully popular product that that I said to Pete, let's do a Christmas edition. I think that would be a really fun thing to do for Christmas. And he agreed, and we literally turned it round within about a month. Now, the routines on there had been worked in over the previous years with things like Monsters, but it was a relatively new trick for me to perform. And the other thing is, obviously, you only really kind of do Christmas cards around about Christmas. I've been doing that a lot this month. I love doing Christmas-themed tricks. I really do. This time of the year, it's perfect, especially tricks about movies. I love anything to do with movies. I think that when you're performing magic, I think it's really important to have the presentation based around something that you're interested in. You know, I do a lot of, you'll see this next year, but I do a lot of motivational speaking gigs. A lot of people know I'm a motivational speaker. So, you know, when I go out and perform close-ups, sometimes, depending on the type of environment, I'll do routines that are involving motivation or inspiration and stuff like that. It's the same with movies. I love watching movies. I can sit there for hours and watch movies, and Christmas cards is right up my street. And obviously, I had to put Die Hard in there. What I love best about Christmas cards is it's such an eclectic range of routines. The principles that are at play inside Christmas cards, they work with each other seamlessly to allow you to do such a strong range of routines. And, you know, I was out gigging yesterday, and I did... I've been out digging every single day over December. But yesterday, I was doing this walk-around gig for like 2 hours, and I threw a deck of cards, threw some coins in my pocket, had Christmas cards in my top pocket, and pretty much, I'd say 50% of my performing was done with Christmas cards. Because it just makes sense. You know, it's nice. The amount of people that will book us and go, oh, can you theme the tricks to Christmas? Well, absolutely, yes, I can. You just throw this in your pocket and you're good to go. So 11th position from Alakazam Magic, you've got Christmas cards. If you want strong magic and mentalism that you can perform, that's based all around this festive period, then this is the one to go for. But it's bottom of the pile. It's at 11th position. Let's see what's at number 10. Now, this is going to be shocking for a lot of people. And it's shocking for me. And I went back and forth as to where to put this. I really did. And I can't believe it's coming at 10th place because it is literally my EDC. I carry this in my wallet. If you saw my wallet right now, you would see that this is in there. It's always in there. And it's the perfect trick for me to carry around. But something had to be in number 10. And in 10th position, it's Ticket to Ride. Now, what is Ticket to Ride? Well, Ticket to Ride was another trick that I brought out through Alakazam. And Ticket to Ride is a mentalism routine. That, you know, when we brought this out, we had some great reviews from people like Mark Paul. I mean, I love Mark Paul. I think his mentalism is fantastic. And man, to have a quote from Mark Paul for one of my tricks, which really did mean the world to me. But what it is basically is it's a set of gimmicked train tickets. And we spent so long making the train tickets look like real train tickets. And if you handed somebody one of these train tickets, they would think it was a real train ticket because that was the point. But these train tickets are basically stacked and marked. The back of them, the booking reference number, is actually a mark that allows you to immediately know all the information on the ticket that they've taken, but it's not marked on the back of the ticket they take. So you've got them in stack, so they can literally take any one they want to. You can look away and you're just looking at the stack, and one glimpse and you're going to know the date of travel. You're going to know whether it was first class or standard. You're going to know whether it were where you were going from, where you were going to. All of this information you're going to know immediately, which is just super smart when you think about it. And like I say, for me, it's the perfect EDC. I just throw it in my wallet and I'm good to go. Now, I don't drive, so it makes total sense. And, you know, the trailer that we did for this, we did a live performance. We did a full live 15-minute performance showing you how you could use these tickets and do like 3 or 4 routines, create a 15-minute mentalism act with nothing more than a few train tickets in your pocket. It's great. Now, this is a trick, I'll be honest with you, that I have in my wallet and I do it all the time when I'm out and about. If somebody says, show me a trick, this is probably this and something else which is going to appear later on in this list are the 2 go-tos that I do. And they're in my wallet all the time. But I don't do it as much in gigs. It's not something I do in a gig a lot of the time. You could do it in gigs, absolutely, but it's kind of has more of that impromptu EDC feel to it, and I think that's really the best type of everyday carry magic, where you're taking something out that doesn't look like a magic prop. It doesn't look like anything. You go, oh yeah, you want to see a trick? Well, I've got some train tickets here. Let me show you something with those. When I'm doing a gig, instead of train tickets, I would do this type of routine with something else, like Christmas cards, for example, or monsters, where you can kind of create a similar sort of thing, although not get as much information. But there you go. It's called Ticket to Ride. It was another one that I brought out through Alakazam. Again, I love this trick. Really, really, really do. You catch me out and about anywhere, ask me to open my wallet, you're going to see 2 tricks in there that are on this list, and this is the first one. Ticket to Ride. Again, it's another Alakazam trick. It's at number 10. Let's look at number 9. Again, in 9th position, this was a hard one to decide on. I went back and forth between a few different tricks, but I ended up on Petty Cash. Now, Petty Cash is basically a version of Bank Night. It's a close-up version of Bank Night. And I was gigging with Paul Hancock's, who's an incredible close-up magician. Really is one of the best kept secrets in magic. He's a member of my entertainment company, Slightly Unusual. And the last 2 weeks, I've been to 2 close-up jobs with him. And both times we got there early and we opened up the cases and he was getting his stuff, I was getting my stuff, and he hadn't seen Petty Cash before. And I was like, he's like, what, those coloured envelopes? And I showed him, And he was like, oh, that's really good. And it is. What an opener. When I'm doing mentalism, petty cash is my opener. And I just told you, I opened up my close-up case and they were there at the top of the close-up case. This is something that goes with me to every gig. It just slots in my inside pocket and I'm good to go. I can take it out. I can do it if I want to. If I don't want to, I don't have to. And I love the fact, if you don't know what petty cash is, you basically have 3 different coloured envelopes. There's 3 different bills in each envelope, a 20, a 10 and a 5. They can pick any one that you want to, and you prove to them you knew ahead of time which envelope they would pick. And it forces them down the garden path. It forces them to think that a particular method is being employed. And then you prove that that method isn't employed, even though it is. It's so sneaky. I absolutely love it. And every magician I've shown it to immediately is like, oh, I could see myself doing that. That's great. Yeah, it's just a really fun trick. And you know what? If you get your little parlour stands from Alakazam and you stand these envelopes up, they make a great piece to do on stage as well, or doing a parlour show and doing a small cabaret show. Really, really strong. I think it's been with me every single gig in December, because especially in December, I love opening up by saying, hey, it's the season of goodwill. It's the season of giving. I'd like to start off my set by actually giving you a chance to win some money. How does that sound? You guys like money? You like money? I'm going to give you a chance to win some money. The envelopes are really colourful. They're really vibrant. Yeah, it's just a great trick. So there you go. In 9th position, it's petty cash. If you like bank nights and you want a self-working bank night that really looks good, then that's the one to go for. So you're probably wondering, what's in 8th position? Well, let's find out together. Now, earlier on, I alluded to 2 tricks on this list being part of my everyday carry. The other trick that's on that's part of my everyday carry is at number 7, and that is Edseat, which came out very early on in the year. So what is Edseat? Well, Edseat is my version of the binary system, binary principle, using receipts. Now, I'm not going to get into the controversy when this came out just before Blackpool. I think it came out right at the beginning of the year. There was a lot of controversy and there was a lot of hooing and throwing and backwards and forwards between myself and Michael Webber, which thankfully has died down. You know, I'd like to put that behind me. I think, you know, both of us have moved on. I think both of us are a new guy compared to where we were when we started that whole thing, and I think we've definitely moved on. But obviously there was a lot of controversy, and I think the controversy surrounding it, people were more interested in the controversy than the actual trick. But the bottom line is, it's a bloody good project. It's 8 hours of material. You've got people on there like Pete Turner. You've got a 2-hour masterclass from Pete Turner on the binary principle. He's never spoken about the binary principle on film anywhere. You've got Lloyd Barnes, you've got Javier Fuenmayor, you've got Peter Nardi. You've got all of these incredible mentalists contributing to this project. And the project is just such, you know, it's really simple. You got 5 envelopes, you got 5 receipts, you put them in your wallet, you bring them out, you do the trick, you put them away. Now, I've heard people say they don't like the receipts that are being printed on Tyvek, which is fine. I've never had a problem. Nobody has performed Edseat more than me. And I've never had a problem with anybody saying, hang on a minute, these aren't real receipts. But you can always print them on your own receipts. Absolutely. You get the files, so you can print them. You can get thermal printers for next to nothing, and you can print them off every week if you want to. And that's quite good. And obviously you can change anything on there because you've got the files. But the bottom line is, it's just a very strong way of doing a mind reading piece. You know, you can have it in your wallet. It looks like an organic thing that you would keep in your wallet. You take these receipts out, you give them to somebody, you let them look at them and think of an item, and immediately you know what they're thinking of. It's that simple, it's that direct, and it really is very, very powerful. It's 7th position, it goes in your wallet, and it's good to go anytime, anywhere. If you haven't got it, it's in USA and UK versions, And I know a lot of pros use it. I know a lot of people use it. I know a lot of people carry them around with them because, you know, how many times have we been in a situation where you go, oh, I've got nothing on me. Show me a trick. You're a magician. Show me a trick. I've got nothing on me. Well, you never get into that situation with Edseat, because if you've got Edseat and Ticket to Ride in your wallet like I have, you've got like a 20-minute mentalism set that just sits inside your wallet. So there you go. It's Edseat. It's my number 7 on my list of tricks from 2023. And when I said number 7, it wasn't number 7, it was number 8. Number 7 is now I'm having a nightmare. So what is number 7? Number 7 is Monsters by myself and Alakazam Magic. Obviously, Edseat was Murphy's Magic. Monsters. What is Monsters? Well, Monsters is Christmas cards, basically, but with monsters on them. It came out just before Halloween. Unlike Christmas cards, so Christmas cards really can only be performed at Christmas. I think that from mid-November until maybe the first week of January, you're good. Outside of that, it's a bit weird. It would be like going into a shopping market in the middle of the summer and seeing a Santa Claus there. You'd be like, hang on a minute, what are you doing here? Well, it's the same with Christmas cards, right? You just don't really see it. It's not the sort of trick you're going to perform outside of Christmas. But Monsters, although it was a Halloween release, it's the sort of trick that you could do all year round, because the hook line is, do you like scary movies? Well, who's going to turn around and say no, they don't like? Well, some people might, but the monsters that are included in the artwork are just iconic monsters that everyone's going to know. And it allows you to do so much direct mind reading. I have to give a big shout out to Aid Gower from Monster Creations, because A, the artwork looks beautiful, but B, as well as the artwork looking beautiful, the marking system, the cribbing system that he's included on the back of the cards is just, it's so easy to read. You can see it from a mile off. Very, very happy with how Monsters came out. And it set the world on fire. It really did. So many people bought Monsters and emailed me saying it was one of my favourite tricks that they've ever bought. And that's one of the reasons why we went and did Christmas cards as a follow-up, because so many people asked us. And you know what? We're planning another one as well, because so many people have asked us to do one on regular movies as well. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do another one all based around regular movies. So yeah, lot to love. But if you like films, and if you like something that has kind of that scary tang to it, and it still allows you to do a bunch of routines, Monsters by myself and Alakazam is a great way to go. Definitely the perfect trick to do at Christmas. So that's number 7. Now we're going to go to number 6. 6th position. And this is probably my biggest disappointment from 2023. And the reason it's my biggest disappointment for 2023 is because, and I think I'll tell you why, there's a couple of reasons, but I think one of the reasons is it fell under the radar. And I think I know why it fell under the radar, but it fell under the radar a little bit. And I don't think people even realize that this came out, but I love it. It's Lucky Lotto. It's in 6th position, Lucky Lotto by myself and Penguin Magic. So what is Lucky Lotto? Well, basically, as I mentioned earlier with Petty Cash, I love banknight style effects. I think it was Michael J. Fitch who told me that if you ever give people a chance to win money, instantly they're engaged in the performance. It's an incredible hook, and it really is. You give people a chance to win money and they're going to be on the edge of their seat. And that's what a good banknight allows you to do. It allows you to give people a chance to win money. Well, with Lucky Lotto, I had the concept of doing a banknight routine with a scratch card that you could literally just have with you, pull out the scratch card and do it anytime, anywhere. And there are a couple of handlings on the project. The first handling is kind of more of an impromptu piece where you bring a scratch card out from your wallet and you tear it up into bits and you kind of get 4 people involved. And the other one is you have it more in a gig type situation where you give somebody a scratch card and they're scratching it off and you're not tearing it up. So 2 different ways of doing the particular routine. And I think the problem is it ended up being a little bit more expensive than I wanted it to be. And you only got 10 with you. Now, they've since brought out quite reasonably priced refills. So when Lucky Lotto first came out, I think it was like I can't remember, it's $39 or something, and you only could do it 10 times because you only had enough in the package to do it 10 times. So it ended up being like $4 a performance, which is quite a lot. And there was no sign of refills coming, and it was like, what's going to happen? I don't want to buy it if there's no refills. Now they've made refills available very cheaply. I think you can get 10 refills for $15. So you can now, you know, it costs $1.50 to do the routine, which I think is much better. The problem is the refills didn't come out straight away, and there was a bit of controversy when it came out with the trailer. Myself and David from Unbiased went back and forth on the Magic Cafe, and he took exception to some of the wording that I used in the trailer versus the performance. So I was trying to put other performance videos up to show him that that's not the case. It was a whole thing. It doesn't really matter. I was trying to be honest by doing a full performance, and it ended up backfiring in my face. But that's what it is. And I think a combination of a few different things. I think it went under everyone's radar. But this is something that I've been doing for about 12 to 15 years. And I remember going to a design company who's no longer open and having the first ones of these made. And using them about 12 or 13 years ago. It was originally going to come out with World Magic Shop. And it was you know, going to be my next release after Parler, if everybody remembers back in those days. And that's when I decided to walk away from the Magic community. So it was shelved, and I ended up with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these scratch cards, which was great because I was performing it all the time, and I still do. Again, I said EDC and Ticket to Rider in my wallet. The other thing that you'll find in my wallet more often than not is a Lucky Lotto card, because Lucky Lotto is fabulous. It really is. It's such a great routine to perform. It's easy. It packs a punch. It looks good. It's just a great routine. And it's easy to do, which is very important. And it's also organic. You know, if you're going to do a scratch card routine, why would you not use a scratch? Sorry, if you're going to use a banknote routine, why would you not use a scratch card? Everybody knows what a scratch card is. And the whole you know, presentational hook of using, you know, influence to influence them, it's kind of all made sense. So yeah, it's sixth for me. It's sixth place. I'm very, very proud of it. I don't think it was as popular as some of the other tricks on this list, but let me know down below if you got it. And, you know, I was talking to Alex from Monster Magic about this a little while ago, and he said, oh, I absolutely love Lucky Lotto. I'm surprised it didn't, you know, create more of a buzz than it did. But that's the breaks. You never know. You never know. But in sixth place, it was definitely Lucky Lotto. Let's now start by moving on to the top 5. Okay, here we go, fifth place. Okay, and people are probably going to think that they can't understand why this is higher. And in many ways, I would agree. It was so hard to do the top 5, but I'm going for it. In fifth place, it's the Apparition coin set. The Apparition coin set is an incredible coin set. It was the second coin set that we released in the Elite Magic range in 2022. We brought out the Mirage coin set, and then at Blackpool 2023, we brought out Apparition. It's set a sales record for Alakazam. It's sold out within 2 hours, and for good reason, you know, and a big shout out. Every time I mention the Apparition coin set, I give a big shout out to Justin Miller. And the reason is, he brought out something very, 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 very similar before I brought out this, and it was a very limited release. And he contacted me when it came out, and we were able to come to an arrangement. It just shows what a gentleman that Justin is, and he really cares about magic. And him and I are both super glad that so many people have had a chance to do Apparition. Now, I'm telling you right now, and I'm not just doing this for the video because I've got nothing else on me, Apparition is always in my pocket. There it is, right now, Apparition. It's always on me. And the reason it's always on me is because this is it. All I need these 2 coins in this purse, and I'm ready to go anytime, anywhere. And I can do like a 5, 10-minute set. It's one of my openers in walk around every time I do walk around. Not always. There's one that I open with more these days, but it's probably when I do a 2-hour strolling gig, it's probably going to be done about 10 or 12 times. I love that the magic happens in the spectator's hands. And honestly, I think that if you're getting into magic, this is coin magic especially, this is a great way to get into coin magic, because a lot of the tricks with it are almost self-working. Literally, if you can palm a coin, a finger palm, you can do the trick. There's some routines that don't even require palming. And I think the best tricks that have been created with the Apparition coin set have yet to even see the light of day. I know that myself and Justin did an online lecture recently for several people as part of his thing that he does, and it was really cool. And seeing some of Justin's ideas, especially combining Apparition with you know, or lucid dream, as you know, as it was known, with shadow lapping, is just incredible. If you haven't got Apparition, I think it's one of the strongest tricks of the year, and you will find it in my pocket everywhere. Honestly, when you go in my front door, there's a little table, and I put my wallet on there, I put my keys on there, and I put my Apparition coin set on there. And when I pick everything up and put it in my pocket, I always put Apparition with me. It goes with me everywhere. The Apparition coin set is killer. It's 5th place. Should have probably been higher, but there's a lot of other stuff that I think is maybe marginally better. But I'm very, very proud of it. So there you go. 5th place by myself and Alec Azam and Justin Miller. It's Apparition. So in 4th place, and I think that this is going to surprise people as well. It's going to surprise people as to why it's so high. In 4th place is Wild Cubes. Now, Wild Cubes came out just last month. We did a live launch on it last month, but it was actually released at the Blackpool Magic Convention 2023. So Ryland, if you don't know what Wild Cubes is, Ryland, it's Ryland's trick. Ryland reviewed a wild card and then sat there for ages and came up with what is Wild Cubes. And then there's a bunch of other stuff that went on the project as well. And Ryland released it with Kev G's blessing. And I love Wild Cubes. I love Wild Cubes. Now, again, I go back to, you know, I've gigged a couple of times recently with Paul Hancock's, and he was with me, and I showed him these Wild Cubes. He's like, oh, what's that? And I was like, it's Wild Cubes. What's Wild Cubes? I showed him. And I love this. You know, it sold really well. And but there was such a long distance of time between when it came out at Blackpool and when it came out on the website. But it's gone really, really well. The launch went great. But I just love the idea of doing wildcard with Rubik's Cubes. The way that the routine is constructed just makes logical sense. You know, you have somebody pick a cube, you have somebody mix up a cube, you have someone pick a scramble, a picture of a scramble, they match. Just there is a super strong matching routine that doesn't require shells or anything like that. And then you go into the moment where everything then changes. All of the pictures, one by one, change into a solved cube. And then you've got the cube solve at the end. The whole thing just comes full circle. It's instantly reset. It's my favourite way of doing wildcards. I've talked on this channel many, many times that wildcards is one of my favourite tricks, and it is. I love wildcards. Well, wild cubes is my favourite version of the wildcard plot. And some of you might own my Cube 52 project. This, for me, makes the perfect lead into Cube 52. Because I do this, and it's all visual, super visual magic and solves. And then that allows me to talk about cubes. I put those cards away, and I say, you know, if you're a speed cuber, you know, you probably carry around this. And I bring out the Cube 52 deck, and now I'm into Cube 52. And what a great lead-in. And Ryland does this in every close-up job. You know, I've seen him go and do close-up. We were doing an illusion show together. It was me, Ryland, and Matt. And it was an army base, and he was doing close-up with Matt before this show, and I was setting up the show, and he was doing close-up with Matt, and I was watching Ry going around and doing close-up for these you know, these people, about 500 people, And he was just doing wild cubes every single table. He was just doing wild cubes over and over again. And the reactions it gets is just incredible. So, yeah, wild cubes, 4th place. Absolutely love it. It's me and Alakazam, and I think we hit it at the park with that one. Very proud of wild cubes. But now that's 4th place. It's time to get to the top 3. What's number 3? So in third place, we have the Gatekeeper. We have Gatekeeper by myself and Penguin Magic. So Gatekeeper was released in Magic Live 2023, and it's sold out, which is great. Really, really great. And I have to give a big shout out to Dave Loosely. I have to give a big shout out to Peter Nardi. I have to give a shout out to Daniel Bryan. I have to give a big shout out to Alakazam, because the presentational plot of moving the hole in order to do a bar bet was obviously explored by them with expansion, and we took expansion. I took the presentational idea of expansion and built it into a key, and honestly, I have that blooming key with me. First of all, I love Keymaster. If you know, I would say that Keymaster is probably the best thing that I've ever created. And I've always loved Keymaster, and I'm so proud of the 2023 release of Keymaster with Penguin, because we really expanded on all the different routines and the ideas, and we turned it from a standalone trick into a set that literally lives on your keys. And this was such an organic extension of Gatekeeper. It really was. Sorry, it was an organic extension of Keymaster. I'm going mad. It was It was such an organic expansion of Keymaster, and you know, there's so many different ways you can use it. There's so many different ways you can do it. But just as an opener, it's killer. Just as an opener, go there you go. Look at that, and now it's solved. Now it's solved. Now it's shrunk back and it's normal. It's really powerful, and it's objects that spectators are aware of. They understand what a key is. When they see it, the magic happens in the hands of them, which is great. I'm doing it now as well, by the way, as a finale to the Keymaster routine. You know, like when you do a coin routine and then you change the coin into a jumbo coin and everyone's just like, oh my God, I'm doing that with Keymaster. So I'm doing the Keymaster routine and I'm just doing Gatekeeper at the end and expanding the hole and just giving them to look at, and I'm leaving it like that and throwing it in my pocket. If you've got Keymaster, as far as I'm concerned, Gatekeeper is a no-brainer. But if you've not got Keymaster, get Gatekeeper, realize what the reactions are like from performing Gatekeeper, and then get Keymaster as well, because the two go together hand in hand. They really do. I can't wait for you guys to see some of the other key-related stuff that we've got coming out over the next couple of years, myself and Penguin Magic. But I love this. It's in my pocket. It's another one of those ones that I gig with every single gig. I've got that with me, and I'm ready to go. It's Gatekeeper. It's third place. So what is second place? What is second place? Well, second place is the Nightshade coin set by myself and Alakazam Magic. I went back and forth as to what should be number 2 and what should be number 1. 1 and 2 have switched around so many times. And I think it just depends on how I feel on any particular day. But currently, right now, as of today, second place is the Nightshade coin set. You know, the Nightshade coin set is expansive. We bought out the Mirage coin set, and that was expansive. Then we bought out Apparition, which has a different feel to either one of the Nightshade or the Mirage coin set. It's just as good, but it's not. It is a project, but it's not as expansive as the other two. And Nightshade has took us so long to get to the point where it was ready. I mean, the amount of routines, the amount of tutorial, the amount of content that's in there. Honestly, almost every single type of trick that you could possibly imagine can be done with the Nightshade coin set. You want to do coins through table? Sorted. You want to do mentalism? Sorted. You want to do coins across? Sorted. You want to do copper silver? Sorted. You want to do hopping halves? Sorted. Oh, by the way, you can do all of these routines way more visually and way more practically than any method that's ever been thought of before. There is so much that you can do with the Nightshade coin set. There's so much you can do. the tutorial, having Andy Smith sit on it with me was a joy, because Andy is such a clever guy when it comes to coin work. Well, with anything really, but especially coin work. And his insights just made the project. I think that the Elite Coin range with Alakazam is one of the things that I'm most proud of since coming back to the community, because there's not really been anything, you know, there's coin sets that come out, but there's no instructions, or there's like, you know, very limited instructions. You kind of just have to figure it out for yourself. You know, by bringing out the Mirage coin set, Apparition, by bringing out the Nightshade coin set, we're giving people all of the tools that they need to be able to become coin workers. And that's something that I'm so passionate about. And the feedback that I've had from Nightshade has just been exceptional. And I want to thank everybody that's picked it up, because it's not the cheapest trick in the world. It couldn't be. The amount of time and effort and investment that Alakazam have put into it, the amount of time and effort Roy Coopers has put into it, you know, we've went for the best of the best every step of the way. And it's you know, not the cheapest set, so that people that have invested in it, I really appreciate it. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And seeing the feedback from people that are buying it just means the world to me. So in second place, the Nightshade coin set by myself and Alakazam Magic. So now we're at number one. And most people will know what number one is. If you know what my release schedule's been like in 2023, you'll be fully aware of what number one is, because it's the one that I haven't talked about. So in first place, myself and Murphy's Magic earlier this year released Cube 52. And the reason it's number one is because A, I do it all the time. B, the feedback on it has been fantastic. C, it's completely different to anything else that's been done with cubes before. You know, there's been a lot of cube magic that's been brought out. Cubes are very, very popular, but I really wanted to try and approach the genre in a completely different way. And I wanted to show people that there is a way of doing cube magic without actually even needing to learn how to solve a cube. And I wanted to make it a project. I wanted to make it expansive, and that's what we've done. The amount of people that have contacted me and said that they've got into magic, cube magic, because of Cube 52 is phenomenal. The matchup routine, the main routine, where they mix the deck, they mix the cube, and it matches, is probably my favorite routine to perform right now for both lay people and magicians. I go to a gig, I have a cube on me. It's not a coin trick, it's not a card trick. I bring out a cube, everybody knows what it is. And then logically, I bring out the speed cube. I've been to gigs over the last few months where literally all I've had on me is a Rubik's Cube, a Cube 52 deck, and Wild Cubes by Ryland, and I've been set to go. And I can perform so much crazy, insane, weird magic. It's brilliant. Working with Phil Smith on this deck was a dream come true. And some of the other stuff that me and Phil have been working on, wait till you see it. Oh my God. But working with Phil, because this was the first project to work with Phil on, it was a joy to work with somebody that was so professional that just got my vision for what I wanted this deck to be. Working and, you know, with Murphy's and Lloyd and George and Javier and the team, they knew exactly what I wanted to achieve with this as well. But then having Kev G and Colin Klaus on the project, Kev and Colin are brilliant. I mean, they're both amazing magicians in their own right. They are. Kev G and Colin Klaus are legends as far as I'm concerned. But having them involved in this project was a dream come true. It really was a dream come true. And you know, I think that their section of the project was worth the price of the project alone. And then you had Peter Nardi, who stepped up and put some of the best stuff on the project, was part of Pete's material. I mean, the whole thing coming together was just great. And the price that we got it at, so affordable. You know, I think it was £30. I think it was like something like that, $35, £30. All custom printed by the USCC playing card company. And yeah, you know, I take it with me everywhere. I love Cube 52. It's my trick of the year as far as I'm concerned. It's the Magic TV trick of the year. It's the trick, out of all of the tricks that I've released in 2023, it's the one that I'm happiest with. It's the one I'm proudest with. And it's weird to say happiest, right? Because you're never happy. As a creator, you're never happy. You could tinker with a trick forever. When it gets released, you could tinker it forever. There's tricks that I've bought out that have been on the cards for years, and I'm still not happy with them. And at some point, you just have to say, right, you know, I'm going to let this one go, because if I don't, it will never go. And that's why I always release videos with extra routines. You know, just recently in the last month, I've put videos up about Chop and Gatekeeper and Apparition, because there's always new material that's coming out with these projects. And you know, and Cube 52 is no exception. You know, since it's come out, I've had a whole bunch of new ideas and new routines, and I'll probably be doing a video on Cube 52 at some point soon as well. But there you go. That is the 2023 Trick of the Year, Cube 52 by myself and Murphy's Magic. So that's my Trick of the Year list. That's the 2023 Trick of the Year list. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining me on this video. And if you've ever purchased one of my tricks, if you've ever spent money on one of my tricks, or watched one of my videos on YouTube, or subscribed to the Net Tricks, or interacted me in any way, I want to say thank you so much. Coming back to the magic community 3 years ago was a big decision of mine, and I'm so glad that I did, because you know, yeah, I get pissed off with people sometimes, and yeah, you know, sometimes I get a bit of online hate, but like I've said recently, I'm kind of namaste as fuck. I feel so much better being a part of this community than being away from it. And thank you anybody and everybody that supported this channel. You mean the world to me, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You really do mean the world to me. So thank you so much. Really, honestly, thank you so much. And yeah, if you want to check out any of my work, you know, Magic TV has an online shop. It's called magictv.org. You can go on there and you can see all of the stuff, and you know, we ship out daily, so you can go check out all of that, or you can get it from Alakazam or any of the other good magic dealers. But yeah, if you thought 2023 was good, ho 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 ho, we're going to start 2024 next month with a bang. We have some incredible stuff lined up that you guys are going to love. So I'm not going anywhere. I've just got started. 2024 is going to be my year. I hope it's going to be your year as well. But thank you so much for supporting me on my journey, and I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig from Magic TV.